to hear. My name is
Thank
Gaurav
you.
Narula. Times are changing, but our, the law systems, they are still the same. They are not changing with the pace of the time. I want to know from you, you have been a law practitioner, what holds you, changing the systems? A person don't get a justice and he dies and he doesn't get the justice, right? So, what holds a law practitioners like you, who have the power to change the system, but our system still not changing with the pace they should be? What's your opinion on that?
I think you're not correct in saying that I have the power to change the system or the law. The power lies with the legislature, advised by the government. Therefore, they are the ones who should bring about the change. Now, if a change is brought, then it will affect them. That's why they don't want to bring a change. They can pass laws in 17 minutes, 12 minutes, 17 laws they can pass. But those that help them only. You ask somebody else as a private member to move a bill that the salary of the MP should be cut because they don't do anything at all. Just see whether that bill will be placed before the House. So those who should really bring about the change, not in the social system, but in the statutory system of administration, are unfortunately the ones who are the biggest hurdle in bringing about the change. Therefore, my appeal to you is, be careful when you choose your representative. Please go and vote. BBMP election, the average voting was 45%. In a system where you get only 45% of the people voting, 25% can easily be bought, either by liquor, sari, money, whatever it is. Then he wants another 2 or 3% vote, which his family and the party will vote for him. So he gets elected. Then what he does, 25% of the money which he has spent, he must recover it now with interest for the next election. We got one BBMP corporator while receiving 4 lakhs of rupees for regularizing an irregular construction. The election system also has to change. Again, who will bring that change? Who will bell the cat? According to me, a voter must be, though the Chief Electoral Commission is against it and all, I would say voting must be made mandatory, one. Election expenditure should be controlled by the Election Commission. Any candidate contesting for, let us say, BBMP, his election expenditure may be 1 lakh of rupees is what is required, though they spend 2 to 3 crores. He must be asked to deposit that lakh of rupees with the Election Commission. Election Commission should, depending upon the area and the population, allow certain number of posters, certain number of volunteers, certain number of vehicles allotted to him. And stringent punishing laws should be made for violators of that law. Then system may improve. But Election Commission today has not been given that power.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, sir. Myself, Gaurav. I am currently pursuing my postgraduate diploma in management course at NMIMS. My question to you is, recently a statement was made by a very senior cabinet minister that there is no educational qualification required to contest elections. What do you feel on this? If I feel that educational qualifications do required, then how can we raise a voice against this and pressurize the government? Secondly, the opposition has recently stopped a walkout on issue which could have been sorted otherwise. This walkout has led to many bills which are not being passed. Infrastructural development which was supposed to begin has come to a halt. Now on these issues too, if we want to raise voice and pressurize the government and the opposition so that in future such instances do not occur, then how can we approach? Thank you.
Your first question, I told you what transpired in the Constituent Assembly about qualification. I think what decision the Constituent Assembly took is correct even today, because today we find more educated people who are corrupt than the uneducated people. Therefore, that is not a guarantee that merely because the elected representative is an educated person, that there will be this thing. Even uneducated people are not free from that. You know the case of Madhukoda. 2.5 years he maneuvered in a constituency, rather a state, which had 49 seats. Opposition got 24, the BJP, the one ruling, got 24, yet he was the only person who was the middleman. He bargained with them. You make me the chief minister with one vote, I will look after you all. And one political party made him the chief minister. 2.5 years, according to the newspaper report, he has made 4,000 plus crores of rupees by siphoning the money from the government. He has invested money from Liberia to Indonesia. He couldn't have done it. He's not even a second standard graduate. Now I don't say in that standard, when I'm staying in classes, second class. He has been advised by consultants how to transfer money by Hawala means to some tax haven place, create bogus companies, invest it, bogus interest, rather income is shown, bring it back to India, and then you invest it the way you want. Therefore, this qualification today has become totally irrelevant for the people and all. The second part was in regard to?
So the opposition had recently...
Oh yeah, walkouts. Walkouts. Yeah, in this, you don't blame only the ruling party. The opposition is as much guilty. You said not a single bill has been passed. Yes, bill in the technical legislative sense has not been passed, but travel allowance bills, the sitting allowance bills, salary allowance bills have all been passed and paid. Therefore, we have to bring in people who are accountable to the post that they are elected. That's the most important thing. For that, you got to bring out a voice. Janagra is doing a good job, but then again it is considered to be an elite organization of some educated people only. Now we have to bring about this thinking, even amongst the poor people, that better governance will bring you more happiness, more facilities than merely promises which are made during election.
Thank you, sir.
People, oh yes, as a student, you can join hands with the organizations which you think are really working for the cause in and around your this thing. You got to build some organization, and that organization should represent the group which are really suffering.
My name is Kavita. I have a question for you. Like people who are in power, they have the courage to stand against and to fight against the corruption. But people who are not, or who are like common human beings like us, how do you drive them to do so?
Persuasion is one way. There is no legal way by which you can drive them to this thing. But nothing else, I think you must approach the right authorities to see that they get a message that there are organizations still which will correct them. Otherwise, you have to do something. If you keep quiet, they'll accept it as if it is something right. We do get to 30 to 35 complaints a day. Some of them are very, very petty complaints. Drainage is not cleaned for last 1 week. The garbage is not taken out for last so many days. Yes, that is a civic amenity that is you're entitled to. Complain it as we do it. We don't think anything small for our institution. No. We are prepared to, provided you give us the right information and you have a legitimate right to get that grievance solved.
Thank you, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
I am Professor Narayan Swami.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming to our institution. We
My
are very
pleasure.
happy with your presence here.
Yeah.
I just have a question.
Yeah.
Our temple of democracy,
Yeah.
Parliament was attacked a few years back. And the person who attacked, or the reason, he is still alive. And the person who attacked our financial capital, Mr. Kasab, he is still very much alive, claiming that his photo was morphed and he wants biryani for his lunch and all those things. Now, my question as a layman is, in a positive sense, should I take this as, even to our dreadest enemy, we give we give chance till the last minute to prove them to be not to be guilty, and are we so tolerant, patient enough, and we give all type of possible support to those people also. So in a very positive sense, should I take it that way, or in a negative sense, should I say this happens only in India? What should we as a layman take it up?
I would say, even comparing most of the countries which speak about human rights violations, I think India is really more tolerant than most other countries. Otherwise, you will not protect a man spending crores and crores. I think it's about 20 crores a day it costs to protect Kasab.
Yeah.
The vehicle which was purchased from Germany for 15 crores of rupees. There is a bomb-proof tunnel between the court hall and his chambers, The video conferencing with the Bombay High Court to protect a man for whom the government is saying give him death sentence. If we don't do all this, maybe somebody will give him some sentence of this nature without the government being involved in it. Don't have to pay the hangman's fee. I mean, it sounds ironical that you are arguing in the court that the Kasab should be given death sentence only. But you spend crores of rupees in protecting his life. What happened to the 165 odd people who died? I don't believe in this type of human rights protection, no. But we are parties to the human rights certain declarations. I suppose we are compelled to do that. Same is the case with Guru's case, who's facing a death sentence, confirmed by the Supreme Court. Review petitions are dismissed, but not being sentenced. Whereas people who have committed lesser have been much earlier sentenced to death. You did say that our temple of democracy, that building, I have my own doubt whether it can be called a temple.
Now, the temple is there. Whether God is there is the doubt for us.
I don't know. A place which is infested by devils can never be a temple.
Sir, I have one more smaller issue. Do you think politics is playing its own excellent role in this?
Certainly. What else is it? In Afzal Guru's case, what else is it playing the role?
I just want it from your...
My mouth.
Thank you very much.
So that tomorrow's paper says, Lokayukta said this. No.
Sorry, sir. Sorry. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
My name has been used for worse things than this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, in a country like India, we are growing and money is not a problem with us as we see a developing country. So the basic criteria for corruption, what I see is today is power and politics. So this bureaucracy and red tapeism, how can it be changed in today's scenario?
Red tapeism can be changed by changing the... They have the single window service they opened up during globalization days. See? But today single window service has become single window corruption window. You pay money in one place, one window, all departments will share it and your job will be done. But not that single window application will be allowed for a license or other things and all. But since the system has not changed, it's extremely difficult. My personal feeling is the political bureaucracy, because those who are ministers and others involved in the administration from political side, and the executive bureaucracy are conjoined twins, Siamese twins. They parasite on each other. If they are separated, there can never be corruption, at least in administration. Because if one doesn't agree, corruption cannot go on. If the minister tells the secretary, if you do this, you'll face the consequences. If the secretary says, sir, I can't accept your this thing, it is against rules, then certainly that deal of corruption cannot go through. You take any scam, there is a collusion between